Well, hello, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful night. This is actually my second live in one day. I don't usually do lives on my Fuse Glass artwork, but I was trying to go over that little hump of being monetized. And so I thought I'm just going to do a half-hour live and see how that helps it. And maybe by this weekend, I will hit that monetization threshold. So I am hoping that that is going to be the case. But good evening to everybody. And there are lots of people in here already. Shauna is in. Sarah's in. Ashley's in. Jennifer is in. Let me scroll down a little bit farther. Angie's here. Downunder Farm and Forge. How are ya? Thanks for stopping in. And Donna's in here too. Hello. How are ya? And Teresa's here. So just lots of good friends already in here tonight. So it is fun, fun, fun. And some of you guys were in my Fuse Glass artwork live earlier. And so I appreciate that. It is just so nice of you to do that. And if you see anybody with their name and then they have that little S afterwards, that means they are a member of Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. And so Teresa is, and Donna is, and Cecily is in. She's one of my newest members. A seed on good soil. Now, on my late night with Nana, I have never had a guest. I don't think so. I've had them on Monday night. But Cecily, a seed on good soil, is going to be my very first guest on July 8th. And so if you haven't checked her out before, she is a new channel. And so please check her out and then make sure you come back on July 8th and you will get to meet her in person. So that will just be fun, fun, fun. Blind guy, his wife, and their life. How are ya? Thanks so much for stopping by. And just great members. If you haven't seen, let me pop that back. Blind guy, his wife, and their life. Friday mornings. I mean, they have a lot of lives, but Friday mornings, they always have such interesting guests on their channel. Actually, all of them are interesting. But this week, earlier in this week, I watched a live that they had, and they had an artist, and he did a book, and it was basically dreams, and it was just fabulous. The artwork was fabulous, and so I appreciate that they had him on there. And Karen M is in. And says, Mother, I hung up with you and actually called you right back. Okay. Todd's here. Hello, Todd. How are ya? And everybody's saying hi. So that is just fun, 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 fun. And are both of the Teresas in or just one of the Teresas? I might just see one Teresa. City Girl Country Heart. Hello, how are ya? It was nice to see you. And Tony is in. Tony, do you have a live at in an hour? So that if people are done with my live, they can come over to your live. So I hope so. So just let us know in the chat. And Craig is in, and Tony does have a live right afterwards. So make sure you guys hop on over and see Tony at Kettle Kitchen. He is doing Jamming Up June, and there are just all kinds of fabulous videos all over with people doing that. And so I didn't get a notification for the live earlier. Sorry. The live earlier was on my Fuse Glass artwork. And so you might have to click both places to be able to get them on both ones. And Craig, I understand that you met Lisa from Yogi Hollow Farms. And she was just so excited to meet you. So that was great fun. She sent me a text message. Guess who I just met? And Jake is here. Hello, Jake. How are ya? So it's going to be a busy weekend this weekend. I am tomorrow, not yesterday, tomorrow, I am baking loaves and loaves and loaves of banana bread. Why am I doing that? Because when your grandsons and their friends ask you, Nana, can you make us some banana bread when you come over for the birthday party? That's what you do. So tomorrow, it's a baking day. So, and I do have to do some gardening and all that kind of stuff too, but it is going to be some banana bacon days. And of course, I'll make some for Joe. We made vanilla bean donuts on Thursday, and that video's up, and they are tasty. And my donut pan, it makes these little teeny mini donuts. And then Joe gave me a bad time. What, am I on a diet? No, it's not on a diet, but they're perfect. And if you drink coffee, you can dip, because they're a cake donut. They're not fried, they're baked. And so you can dip them in your coffee. You could dip them in milk. You could dip them in hot tea. You could just eat them. That's what I do. I just eat them. I don't dip them in anything. And Sarah says, I don't like bananas, but I like banana bread. I love bananas. I love anything bananas, actually. I make a really good old-fashioned banana cake. I don't know if I've ever done a video on that. It's so good. And then you have this cream cheese frosting on it. You can put some nuts in the frosting. It's just fabulous. Angie says, you are more than welcome to send me some banana bread. Well, I might have to do that. And we are going over to South Dakota this weekend. That's why I'm going to see all the grandkids, because my first great grandson is turning 1 year old. And so the birthday party is on Sunday. He actually turns his birthday's on the 29th, which was my grandmother's birthday. So that's always kind of fun. And Teresa says, speaking of donuts, can fill round donuts with Victorian barbecue sauce. Well, Teresa, that's a possibility. I suppose you could. I mean, I did vanilla bean glaze and cinnamon inside the donuts. I sent Teresa some Victorian barbecue sauce, and she sent me a video when she got the box, and I was just happy. That's all it was. And so I'm happy with that. And everybody's talking back and forth between themselves. Now, we got chickens, and we built a chicken coop, and we did videos on it. And Joe added some additions onto the chicken coop today. So I have a little video for you guys. And here it is. I did this little roof so that when it rains, their food and water stays good, though the water won't hurt it. And then he added another one over in front of the window because he was afraid that maybe hail might break the window. I'm just waiting for one of the chickens to get on there. So that's kind of fun. And I am waiting because one of these days, those chickens are just going to hop on top of there and think it's someplace that they can just sit. But I think it should work because what happened is I hung those on the outside besides their food and water that's inside. And then my sprinkler system went on. The water's, because I have overhead. And the food got all wet because the design of it, there's too much open space. And so the food was wet. So I just dumped it out, which they ate anyway today. But I just thought I'd like it to not get wet and soggy. And so thank you so much for that. We basically almost made that whole chicken coop for free. Pallets, the siding is all old picket fence. We just tried to scrounge. And in fact, the roof we paid $10 for at the hardware store. And so far, those 5 little chickens, and at the stores, you can buy these little rings to put on their legs, and they're different colored. So I am going to get 5 of them, put them on, because they're all black. They all look the same, basically. We are going, because we have names for our chickens. So let me tell you the names that I am naming my chickens. Now, I did do a poll to see what names people thought. The number one on the poll was Agatha Christie. So that is one of my chickens. The next one is Dora the Explorer. Amelia Eggheart. Attila the Hen. And the last one is totally different. The last one is named Ethel. So there. And somebody in the chat will know exactly why I think that is funny. So those are my 5 chicken names. And so I'm just totally excited about that. And I love the name Ethel. So now I told all my members all the videos I was doing this week, because that's what I always like to do. I like to come out and tell my members what's happening for the week. And one of my projects to do was to show how to grow mushrooms in a book and in a roll of toilet paper. Well, my mushrooms were supposed to be here yesterday. They didn't show up. FedEx sent me a message last night. Sorry, delayed. And then I got a message from FedEx today, and it said, out in the truck for delivery. We'll be there by 8 o'clock. Well, it is past 9 o'clock, and I still do not have my mushroom stuff. And it still says that it's out in the truck. And I checked my front door in case he never rang the doorbell. So the book mushroom video will be next week. Because sometimes that happens in the mail. But I did send a message to the company, because they do that priority, because they're supposed to stay a certain temperature so that they'll really grow. So I sent them a message, told them what was happening, asked them what they thought. So I haven't heard back from them yet. But that's just the way it is. I think they're fun names too. I think if you're going to give your animals names, why not have them fun names, especially chickens? That's right. Don't look, Ethel. If you're not our age, you might not even know what that means. You will get it tomorrow. Well, the thing is, in our part of Wyoming, it says on the FedEx thing that they don't deliver residentially on the weekends. So I don't know if they'll make an exception, but if I don't get them till Monday, that could be a real issue with my mushrooms, because of the temperature that they're supposed to stay. So I don't know. Todd says, I want a chicken coop, and chicken eggs here are getting so high. We're at the grocery store. And in fact, some people even sent me messages because they knew I'm getting eggs now from our chickens, because our chickens are full grown. And some of those 12-pack, a dozen eggs, were $6 and $7 for organic, quote unquote, eggs. That is a lot of money for some eggs. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, yeah, breakfasts at restaurants are going to go up higher because everything is going up higher. All my chickens have names too. Taco, Mr. Pearl, Oreo, Spot. That is awesome. They are very sensitive. And so that's why I'm a little concerned, because the company I bought them from, they paid to have that guaranteed that I would get them yesterday. Only, no. So, our most recent box of sugar that was shipped came broken. We called and said, yeah, that you're refunding the shipping fee. Everything is expensive right now. And I hope they send you a whole free thing too, besides, because it's broken and that's not good. I wanted to show you guys some mail that I got. Now, I don't know if you guys know, Tony, he says he's got to go. He's got to get ready for his live. So everybody, Tony starts in 45 minutes, his live. So if you want to just go right from mine to his, mine only be a half hour. So you have a little bit of time in between. And Todd says, chicken names, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Would have been good names. That would have been good names. Oh, is Bomber Steve in here? Hello, Bomber Steve. How are you? If I miss anybody else, just make another comment. So I got a beautiful card from Gail at Gail's Southern Living. And I'm a supporter of Gail's channel, and I have been watching her videos for a long time. And so that was very sweet of her to send that to me. And then our next one, can't show you that way. There's actually nothing in here now because I planted them. Kathy K. King sent me some elephant garlic bulbs. And so that video, it'll be in another video for next week. And then last mail call. I won a t-shirt. Pull this down. I won a t-shirt from Pafford's Homestead. And so I got that in the mail. And so I let them know that I had gotten it. And they had actually sent it to my address that I have down when I'm in Arizona. And then it just got forwarded. So they were happy that it came to the house. And so, and oh, Liam's Toy Time channel. Now he is my featured channel right now, and he has 926 subscribers. So he is getting closer to his 1,000. And so that is awesome. And we are cooking and preparing for a family gathering tonight. We have 26 family members for tea. So much food. That is awesome. Isn't it just so fun when you can get all kinds of family and friends together and all the stories and the talking, and it's always just so fabulous. Dana and Andrew are here. Hello, how are ya? So much fun. Well, I have a couple garden tips for you tonight. Now, Jason over at Homesteading in Northern Michigan just did an update on his garden, and he was talking about corn. And I had sent him some red corn, and they had grown it, saved some of the seed, and they planted it, and it's growing again this year, plus some other corn. And it reminded me of a trick that you can do with your corn. Because sometimes once you get that corn and it's already pollinated, right? So the tassels that started to turn the brown, that's when it's in danger. Because animals, birds, bugs, they like your ear of corn just like you do. And you're waiting for it to turn sweet because you don't want to pick it too early. The trick is taking a pair of socks over top of each of your ears of corn. And it fools the animals, it fools the birds, and it actually fools a lot of the insects. Now, a raccoon might play and pull that off. Maybe. But what you can do is you can loosely tie it along the bottom of the ear of corn. The sock will expand as the corn gets bigger, but you have to wait till it's already pollinated. So you have to watch for those tassels to start to turn. And then you can do it. I found in my mailbox a ripped open envelope with missing content. It was from a woman I did not know with return address across town. It was a collection agent. Called PO, who told me they didn't handle that. They didn't handle that for me to call the fraud. Called them and they said to call the PO. That's crazy. I was just showing your bag, but it's already planted. So I can't show them the elephant ear cloves because it's already planted. But that video will be part of a video this coming week. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I don't have many raccoons here. just drop bears. But it's a trick. And sometimes if you just do those little things, it deters, and then you get your harvest that you've worked hard for. And so I thought, I'm going to share that little tip about the corn. Now, the other thing that I was watching a program and I saw and I heard the most interesting quote about gardening. And they were interviewing a gardener, and he had tons of plants, tons of vegetables. And he said for him, this was the quote because I wrote it down, that it wasn't about the eating, it was about the growing. And sometimes it's like that for me. Sometimes because we always tell everybody, don't grow things that you're not going to eat. And in fact, when I did the video that was kind of a collaboration thing, when 5 vegetables you will always grow and 5 vegetables you'd never grow again. And one of mine was eggplant. And I put eggplant in soups and casseroles, but I really don't like the flavor of eggplant. But I love the plant. And so when I was down in Arizona, decided I wasn't going to grow it again. And then I got one because it was hand grown in Yuma, from a gardener. And so I planted that one. And then I listened to this guy in this interview, and he said that it wasn't for him. It wasn't about the eating. It was about the growing. And I thought, I'm going to grow my eggplants, even though I'm not going to eat them. I might throw them in some casseroles or soup, but I'm basically going to give them away. But because I love the plant, and I love to paint as an artist, I love to paint eggplants because those purples and that green is such different color than other vegetables in your garden. I thought that is just that's a great saying. So I don't think I'm ever going to tell anybody again, only grow things that your family's going to eat. Because sometimes it's about the enjoyment of watching a plant grow. I grow houseplants. I don't eat those. So why don't I grow eggplant, even though I don't want to eat that? Sometimes you want to grow things that you're not going to eat, so you can trade. That's true. It's like I am always trying to convince Angie that she should grow an apple tree. Angie does not like apples. And so, so the socks go on during the day or for about a week, or how does it work? Okay, so after when the corn is let me go out of this first. When the corn has germinated, it's pollinated, and the tassels on the top of the corn start to change a color. Instead of being that really light, they start to turn that golden color. When it's got to that point, just slip a sock over top of it, tie it at the bottom, or use a twisty tie. So you don't want to cut off. You don't do it too tight. But what it does is that all of that stuff that would hurt your corn, bugs, birds, animals, the socks will deter that, and the corn will just grow, and then you can just harvest it eventually. And you can get socks all over the place. You can get them at rummage sales. You can get them at secondhand stores. You could use, I'm not sure if you could use nylons. Maybe you could, but they might peck through that, where the socks would be totally okay. And Doug is here. Hi, Doug. Angie says, my elderberry, echinacea, dandelion root, and licorice root tincture is already helping my throat. Oh, good. Because Angie had a sore throat because her husband had a sore throat, and then she got it from him. And it's only been 3 hours. That is awesome, Angie. I'm happy that that's working for you. Oh, Cecily must be going. Cecily, have a good night. It is 2 hours difference with Cecily. And Cecily's A Seed on Good Soil is actually going to be my guest on July 8th. And so I'm totally excited about that. So let me start. And Stormy Young One, how are you again? Nice to see you again. And so it's a fun time. And when it comes to gardening, a lot of times you have to look for the future. You know, it's like the corn, the socks on the corn. Now, if one day your corn is ready and all of a sudden you have animals and pests and you haven't thought, oh, I need socks. You know, are you going to go through everybody's drawers and take all their socks out? Or are you going to be prepared and get ready for, okay, I'm having, now if you had a huge thing of corn, you know, it's not very practical to have that many socks. But if you're just a small gardener and you just have a few rows, I think it's easily and it's very possible to detour those little creatures. Because I can't even tell you how many videos that I've seen in just this last week on people that have worms eating their tomatoes, their peppers, their other plants, and what they're doing. You know, for the most part, most people just handpick them off. You know, every day they're out, you know, and if they have chickens, they're throwing them to the chickens because the chickens will eat them. Sarah says, I will raid everyone's socks. But I have been at garage sales where they have clothes and they just have piles of socks, you know, because people, I don't know, why don't they throw them away? Teresa says, have a fundraiser for socks. That is awesome. But it's going to be a busy week. I only have a couple minutes left on my live. Banana bread, tons and tons of banana bread. We're averaging it about 3 eggs from our 5 chickens per day. But I think once they get more settled in, they will probably give us probably 4 a day. You know, it'll probably 3 or 4 every single day, which is plenty for us. And I have now caught 3 honeybee swarms. So instead of having my 2 hives, we now have 5 hives at our house. So my brother wants one of them. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the other ones. I mean, I'll let them grow, you know, because when you get a swarm, it's about, they were easily 3 pounds of bees. And so I think I will just let them stay in those hives, watch for when they start bringing pollen in, because that's a sign that the queen is laying. You know, they pulled out enough either drawn comb or they pulled out enough comb that she's happy where she is and she's ready to stay there. And so that's just something I'll watch for. And then I'll decide what to do with those other couple of hives. And Karen is in here. Hi, Karen. I have a drawer full of unmatched socks. I think everybody has unmatched socks. Sometimes one pair, you know, you get a hole in the toe or in the heel. Sometimes the dryer eats them. And oh, Doug, thank you very much. You can use rubber snakes. I think that was Kathy that said that. That will help in your garden. That's for sure, because that detours a lot of things. Joe was just telling me he was reading this article on cucumbers, and it said you take an aluminum pan and put slices of cucumbers in the pan in your garden. It does a chemical reaction with it, and the slugs are attracted. No, the slugs and bugs don't like the smell. We can't smell that smell. But the chemical reaction between the aluminum foil pan, like a pie pan, and the slices of cucumbers, it detours a lot of bugs. So I thought I would try that and just see if that works, because I hadn't heard that before. Doug is still angry at me. I drew 3 times. Doug can never stay angry. He just doesn't have it in him. See, I'm not angry. Because Doug is too nice to be angry with anybody. That is true. But everybody, we are past my half hour, and that's what I like to keep my live streams. In a half hour, Tony at Kettle Kitchen will be on. So if you're up still, pop on over and see him. And I am going to see you guys next time. And I was hoping Teresa Z would be in because it was her birthday yesterday, and I wanted to tell her happy birthday. And Wicked Awesome Gardening, her birthday was today. So happy birthday to her too. So everybody, have a great day. I will be baking tomorrow, and Sunday I will be at a birthday party. So I hope you guys also have a great weekend. Yeah, that's what the article said. Cucumber slices in that aluminum pan, and it does some chemical reaction that we can't smell, but bugs can smell. So I said I would try it. Night, everybody. Have a good night.